Hello and welcome to a Dungeon Defenders 2 video. In this video I want to talk about the new mode that we acquired with the Power of the Ancients, I guess expansion or patch or something, which is the Onslaught. So this is the first time I actually did the Onslaught, and I decided to come back to it to find out more about it, because it kind of piqued my curiosity. I did mention many times that I do enjoy Dungeon Defenders too. It's just that it came to a point in me where I literally had nothing else to do in it. I unlocked the characters that I wanted to unlock, or the heroes, and literally the only thing that was keeping me in the game was the heroes. So I decided to, for a time being, just play other things. However, when the new update came out and there we had a new mode and stuff, I decided, you know what, let's give it a go. I want to give it a try to see what it's like. I don't want to make a judgment until I've actually, tried it. So the first thing you will notice is the map, the new map. I believe it's called the Lost Temple, and it's good. I like the map. I like the way it looks. A little bit. It's kind of like it kind of reminds me of well, it kind of reminds me of a combinational theme of like science and magic or sorcery or something. It has that kind of feel into it. Um, but at the same time, actually, to be honest, it kind of reminds me of a Jack and Dexter like level, kind of like the Prospectors like levels, where it's like like technology something, but with I don't know, a little magic or something. I don't know. That's what kind of reminded me of. But anyways, so in the Onslaught mode, you start. It's basically the mode that you play after you've beaten the campaign. So we can assume that it's going to be its difficulty is going to start with what the campaign like ends with. So, and this is something that we actually kind of needed ages ago, because if you are a player who's been playing Dungeon Defenders 2 for a while now, and you just finished the campaign, the only thing that you had to do was incursions and chaos towers, or the trials as they are known. And you would know that the first time you do like the very first trial, it's let's just say it's not the kind of difficulty that you would have played after you beat the campaign. It's the kind of difficulty that you would have, like piled up a lot of gear, because it was so. I admit I don't, admit I don't pretend to be like the best player. I admit, like as soon as I finished the campaign, I went to Chaos Towers because that was the only thing that I had to do, and it was difficult because enemies had a buttload of health. My defenses were being crushed in an instant, and literally the only way to actually survive was to collect gear as quickly as possible with players who already were able to defeat it. Otherwise, you had no chance. So it was a kind of thing that you really couldn't really do unless you were like really, really high tier. For whatever reason, you had some really, really good help. However, Onslaught mode actually changes that I have noticed. It actually starts off with the difficulty that you would have continued on after the campaign, after beating the campaign, and then it starts off with something simple and to the point, and then scales up as each floor you go, as the way I see it. So the way I see it is it's kind of like an endless mode. I would actually assume that it's kind of like an endless mode where you essentially go through floors and you're basically fighting in this level where I don't know if each floor. I only did the one floor because I just wanted to check out what it's like, so I don't know how they. It does say that each floor changes depending on the floor that you are. Like every floor you have a different change. I did notice multiple corridors in which enemies could have actually gone through, and somewhere between wave 5 I noticed that a new corridor was opened and the defense limit was actually extended. So I would assume that with each difficulty that you play, well, not with each floor that you like ascend to, enemies ramp up in difficulty. Their stats increase. Essentially, their base level increases, and at the same time, um, also the areas in which are become available where enemies are going to be spawning from also increase. So I'm guessing it ramps up as you go along. So it's kind of like your typical endless mode, like the proper endless mode that you would expect. You go in and you try to go as far as possibly as you can. And honestly, this is something that the game really needed ages ago. Like you needed this. This was the thing that needed to be existent after the campaign was finished. before you even go to the Chaos Towers, because the difference between the difficulty of the Chaos Towers and the campaign is an enormous. Like you don't go to the Chaos Towers needlessly, unprepared, because you will die painfully, and generally you will die. Um, it'll take a while before you can actually get a hand to the difficulty and actually put strategy together. It's where strategy really matters. Well, I say strategy. You kind of use some of the base towers, which are a little bit better in each difficulty because of each of the special enemies that exist. Now, the Onslaught, on the other hand, is kind of like a ramp up difficulty. You start off fresh after beating the campaign, and you start off, it's kind of like a continuation, and I do like that. Um, so I actually do like the Onslaught mode for now, because it actually has that, it has that, okay, let's give it to them for, it's like a continuation. And I have noticed that it also doesn't take away your progress. So if you actually have been grinding on Chaos Tower, um, to acquire better loot, to increase your mastery rank, your ascension levels and everything, um, you actually keep that with this mode, and I do like that. In fact, in with one of the other modes that I actually made a video of, the mastery mode, literally it's like you're fighting Chaos Tower level enemies, and you will die essentially because well, it's difficult because you're fighting Chaos Tower enemies with zero um, gear gear essentially. It's like your gear doesn't matter at all, and all your ascension levels are also like they're reduced to zero. 1,000 ascension levels, no, you're back to zero. You're back to square one, and no gear at all. Like your gear is like, it doesn't count for anything, and you're fighting at least Chaos Tower 1 level enemies, which are, like I said, tough. If like just with the gear from the, like, you beat the campaign, you have gear, you have maybe 1 or 2 ascension levels, you go to Chaos Tower, you get yourself wrecked. Especially if you're playing solo. So uh, yeah, it wasn't a very good mode. I didn't like that it actually removes all the progress you do as a whole. Onslaught doesn't do that, thankfully. So you can, if you feel like, you can go back and forth between doing the Chaos Towers, collecting gear, then doing the Onslaught, and then, ramping up to see how far you can go, how many floors you can actually go to. Now, this is something that I actually decided to do on public, obviously. Um, I guess I just wanted to see what it's like and how it would work with other people in it. So, I mean, let's be honest. Very few people actually play with friends. Most people either play with solo, or they just, they chance it to see what they can do with other people. And this can be a little bit of a problematic, especially in a place now in mastery mode. This doesn't matter. Team ups don't really matter. You can play with someone who at least knows how the game works, and has zero ascensions and the worst gear, but you can still work with him if you actually talk to him and talk strategies, because in mastery mode that doesn't matter. It's all about strategy. It's all about, using teamwork to the best that you possibly can. Though I don't know exactly understand if how teamwork can actually. I'm guessing there are some good players out there who really want a good challenge. Um, and my perspective over mastery rank mode, I did say that I didn't like it and that I would never play it, and that was a bit too extreme, I guess. It was just the fact that I didn't really like the fact that, like, you spend so much time grinding and acquiring gear, and suddenly they give you a new mode to grind new stuff, to progress your grinding, and it's like, oh yeah, everything you've grinded so far, it means nothing. Just remove it. Get out of there. So that's what I didn't like, and which is why because literally I've been playing this game just for playing it. I haven't spent any money whatsoever playing this game, and I have unlocked like 5 different heroes. So just by playing dailies and weeklies and just doing, a few games every now and then. Like, I didn't play committedly, like, for, like, I don't know, 5 hours. Like, my play time in dungeon in DD2 is essentially, I would say, 1 or 2 hours most per day, just to collect those dailies and weeklies. So, and with that only, I was able to unlock 5 of the heroes. So which was literally what drew me in. The unique heroes are what really drew me in. I'm kind of disappointed that we didn't see any new heroes already. I was hoping that with the new expansion, new map, new modes, and all that kind of stuff, we would actually also have some new, um, we would have some new heroes, which I would have liked. It would be something definitely something to look forward to. But yeah, what to do? Something that I didn't really notice. You know what? Hang on a second. I'm gonna recheck and I'm gonna come back. Okay, so I did a little bit of a recheck, and so what I wanted to check is after beating Onslaught, do you gain Defender medals? And the answer is no, you don't, which kind of sucks. I mean, like I said, Defender medals is the way you unlock new heroes. So if you really want to get your hands on new heroes, doing Onslaught mode definitely isn't the way. It looks like Onslaught is essentially just another way of, I guess, increasing your level. So I'm guessing you are expected to have the heroes that you want to be leveling up and making stronger by playing this mode. I guess so. So if you really want to grind Defender medals, the Chaos Towers are literally the only way to do it. So I'm guessing the way you would do this is you complete the campaign, you start Onslaught, see as far as you can go, try to collect as much good gear as possible, and then hit the Chaos Towers, because now you finally have, hopefully you ramp up enough difficulty to like acquire enough gear to make you relevant in Chaos Towers, at least Chaos Tower 1. And honestly, I still don't know, I don't think they changed how much Defender medals you gain within each Chaos Tower. So each Chaos Tower is again kind of irrelevant. I haven't tried the Chaos Towers. I'm hoping, or like any of the difficulties, if they changed it, I'm hoping that they they increase the Defender medal count, the more higher difficulty of the Chaos Towers, starting from 21, I guess, Defender medals total that you gain from Chaos Tower 1, increasing that, I don't know, maybe 5, by 5 at least, for every Chaos Tower that you climb up to. Like Chaos Tower 2, you get like 30 total, then 35, then 30, then 40, and so forth. So even with that amount, you still it still would take forever to acquire the amount required to unlock a new hero, but I guess it would be a nice upgrade. Hopefully they didn't do anything bad to turn them down, because if they actually reduced it, that would be bad. That would be like, I'm pretty sure people would be bad. I think the way I see it, the way I'm seeing it is the possibility is like, I'm guessing they really did pretty much everything that they did in the previous update, which is essentially just add a new mode. Also, I did notice that they changed some of how things look. I did notice some Christmas-themed appearances, so that's actually nice. I mean, it's kind of like, like a bit. Oh yeah, they changed the appearance of the map, but they didn't give us any new heroes. Like, really? I mean, it would have been a nice present to have a new hero that you can farm for. I mean, possibly like some of the people who are playing right now, who are Ascension level, like I said, 1,000 plus, and have already beaten Chaos Tower 7 over and over. I think they would really like, something to grind for, to use Defender medals, because you possibly already have every hero that already exists, just because you can, and you're just pretty much using your Defender medals to upgrade gear to maximum, because you literally have no other thing to do with them. So it would be nice to actually have some more use for Defender medals. And honestly, if it were me, I would be making, with every new update, I would be making a new hero for people to play with and add to their collection, because honestly, it's the heroes that really, the heroes is the thing that you cling to because you like them. But okay, I guess we got a new mode, and this is, like I said, this mode is the mode that we needed ages ago, before Chaos Towers even should existed. So I guess the way it goes is you complete the campaign, you go to Onslaught, you level up, acquire some gear, get ready for Chaos Towers. After you go to Chaos Towers, you go to what do you call them, incursions, to get those special weapons and stuff, which shouldn't be difficult if you complete the Chaos Towers. Once you are able to do Chaos Towers, I have noticed that Chaos Tower are actually a lot harder than incursions. Incursions give you a lot more mana to work with, so you can upgrade a lot faster, and you can, you know, obviously instantly have the best defenses that you can possibly have. So I kind of do. Uh, Once you're done with Chaos Towers, you can do incursions, and of course after that is the last thing, which is the mastery mode, which is, you know, to put your real skills of strategies to the test. And I do suggest that you do it with a group of people, because it would be a lot more fun, more easier, and you know, you can strategize. So also on a side note, we got some new loot boxes, which I imagine are Onslaught only, which is interesting, I guess. I'm guessing. We also got some new loot crates, which unlock cosmetics and those that kind of stuff, which changed our previous crates. Hopefully they don't, you know, get attached to the loot boxes that much. Um, but anyways, yeah, this is my first time playing the Onslaught mode. My first time trying to see what it is about. It is a decent addition, even though we needed it ages ago after we beat the campaign. But yeah, this is the end of this video. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this useful. This is just me sharing my thoughts. Stay cool, yeah, and I'll see you later, I guess. Bye!